Funny thing about need, it's never as simple as hunger or thirst. No, this is deeper, heavier. The kind of need that doesn't sit in your stomach, it claws at your chest. And when something carries that much weight, you can't take it lightly, can you? You can't just sit alone, staring at the walls, pretending you've got it all under control. Because the truth is, you don't. This isn't made to be swallowed in silence. It's meant to be felt, shared, echoed in another soul. The funny thing about silence is that people think it keeps them safe. They believe if they keep their little secrets buried, tucked away in the corners of their mind, no one will ever know, no one will ever see. But silence isn't safety. Silence is a time bomb. You can swallow the words, you can bury the truth, you can lock the door, but the thing you're hiding doesn't disappear. It sits there, waiting, grinning, scratching at the inside of your skull. You try to smile, act normal, but you know it's there. The silence you cling to is the very thing that will betray you, because silence is loud. Louder than your excuses, louder than your lies, louder than your laughter. It screams in your sleep. It bleeds into your voice when you speak. It seeps through your eyes when you look at yourself in the mirror. You think you're hiding it, but it's hiding you. The things you refuse to say out loud, they don't vanish. They grow teeth. They grow claws. And one day, when you least expect it, they'll come out. You can sit in a room full of people and say nothing, but everyone feels it. They feel the tension in your silence. They sense the weight behind the words you never let out. Silence is a liar's worst disguise. You think you're clever, but it gives you away. Every time. That's the irony. You try to control the story by saying nothing, but the silence tells the whole story for you. You ever notice how heavy silence feels when you're guilty? How it burns on your skin? How the clock ticks louder? How the air feels thicker? That's not imagination. That's your silence turning into sound. The sound of your conscience cracking. The sound of the truth begging to escape. You can try to bury it deeper, but the deeper you push it, the stronger it gets. Like pressing down on a spring. The more you push, the harder it'll snap back. People are terrified of speaking, but they should be terrified of not speaking. Words, once spoken, may hurt. They may cut. They may ruin reputations. But silence is poison. It doesn't explode. It seeps. It rots you from the inside out. It makes you paranoid, makes you restless, makes you weak. And soon you start to see it everywhere. Little reminders of what you've buried. Every conversation feels like a trap. Every laugh feels like a mockery. Every glance feels like suspicion. You're haunted by the ghost of your own silence. And let's be honest, isn't it amusing how people convince themselves they're in control while silence eats them alive? They call it strength. They call it discipline. They call it wisdom. But no, it's fear. Pure, raw fear. They don't want the world to hear the truth. Not because the truth is unbearable, but because once it's out there, they can't hide anymore. Silence keeps them in a little cage, and they polish the bars, decorate it, call it home. But it's still a cage. You can see it in their faces. The twitch of a smile when a certain topic comes up, the way their eyes dart away, the nervous laugh, the throat clearing, the sudden change of subject. Silence leaks through every movement. It betrays them in ways words never could. Because when you talk, you can spin the story. When you stay silent, the story spins itself, and usually, it's darker than reality. The loudest screams aren't the ones that echo in the streets. They're the ones inside your chest, trapped, rattling the ribs, begging to come out. And when you've lived long enough with them, you realize something cruel. The silence never protected you. It only delayed the inevitable. It let the monster grow. It made the shadow bigger. And by the time the silence finally cracks, it's too late. The scream that escapes is too loud, too wild, too uncontrollable. It shatters everything. So people hide in silence thinking they're clever, thinking they're untouchable. But every second of silence is another nail in their coffin. Every unspoken truth is another chain around their throat. And when it finally breaks, when the silence finally screams, it doesn't whisper, it roars. And the world hears it all. You ever notice how people are obsessed with masks? Not the painted ones, no. I mean the invisible ones. The smiles they glue on in the morning, the polite nods, the cheerful tones that taste like ash in their mouths. They walk around with faces that aren't theirs, hiding the chaos inside, terrified that someone might actually see what's really there. Funny thing is, the more they hide, the more obvious it becomes. Because you can fake laughter, you can fake kindness, but you can't fake the cracks. The cracks always show. And once they show, no matter how much makeup you smear on them, no matter how many lies you whisper, people feel them. They may not say it, but they know. They always know. Masks aren't about protecting yourself. They're about control. You wear them because you want to dictate how the world sees you. You want to be seen as strong when you're crumbling, smart when you're lost, happy when you're suffocating. It's not about hiding weakness. It's about maintaining the illusion of strength. But here's the twist. Illusions demand energy. They demand focus. And sooner or later, the weight of the mask breaks the face beneath it. You can only pretend for so long before the real you leaks out in the form of nervous hands, restless eyes, shaky voices. The mask cracks under pressure, and when it does, it doesn't just fall. It shatters. Think about it. How many people live entire lives without ever showing their true faces? They get married with masks on. They raise children with masks on. They go to their graves, and not a single soul ever met the real them. Will tell you they were protecting others, but the truth, they were afraid. Afraid of rejection, afraid of judgment, afraid of being seen as they are. The irony is delicious. They spend their entire existence trying to hide, yet deep down, they crave to be known. They crave someone to peel that mask off, someone who won't flinch at the ugliness, someone who'll laugh at the scars instead of gasp. That hunger eats them alive, while they smile their painted smile. But let me tell you something. Masks are fragile. All it takes is one bad day. One little moment when the pressure becomes unbearable. One slip of the tongue. One uncontrolled laugh, one angry outburst, and just like that the mask falls. The person you thought you knew, gone, replaced by the stranger hiding underneath. And when the world sees that stranger, they don't forget. They can't. Because truth, once exposed, can never be shoved back into the shadows. There's also something else. Something people don't like to admit. Masks don't just hide the truth from others. They hide it from you. You wear the mask so long you forget the shape of your own face. You start believing the smile is yours. You convince yourself the voice of the mask is your voice. You live in a script so rehearsed you forget it was never real. And then, when the mask slips, it's not just the world that gets shocked, it's you. You stare at the reflection, raw and unfiltered, and you don't recognize it. You're a stranger in your own skin, haunted by the lies you told yourself. Isn't it funny? The very thing people think keeps them safe is what kills them the slowest. Masks suffocate. They take away your ability to breathe freely. You can't laugh without checking if it fits the character. You can't cry without fearing exposure. Every action becomes a calculation, every word a performance. Life turns into a stage, and you're stuck in a role you didn't even audition for. You think you're controlling the mask, but the mask is controlling you. And let's not forget the sweetest irony of all. People put on masks because they're terrified of being rejected. Yet the rejection they fear is inevitable, because no one can truly love what they've never seen. They may admire the mask, sure, but admiration isn't love. They may respect the mask, but respect isn't intimacy. And when the mask cracks, when the truth leaks out, people will recoil, not because of what they see, but because you lied. The betrayal cuts deeper than the flaws ever could. So you tell me, what's more dangerous? Showing the world your scars, or suffocating behind a mask until the mask itself becomes your coffin? People don't realize that the scariest part of life isn't being seen. It's never being seen at all. Comfort. Oh, what a delicious little poison. It doesn't stab you. It doesn't slap you. No, it whispers to you. It tucks you in at night, strokes your hair, kisses your forehead, and tells you, stay right here. Don't move. You're safe. And you believe it. You cling to it like a child clings to a blanket. And while you're wrapped in that softness, life passes you by. Dreams die. Fire dims. The world spins on. And you're left standing still, smiling in your cozy little prison. That's what comfort is. It's a padded cell. And you lock the door yourself. People like to say failure is what kills ambition. No, that's not true. Failure wakes you up. Failure stings. Failure kicks you in the teeth and forces you to decide. Get up or stay down. But comfort is the silent killer. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't warn you. It lets you drift. It lets you settle. And the worst part is, you don't even realize you're dying inside, because everything feels so pleasant. You ever see someone who's just fine? Not happy, not broken, just fine. They wake up, go to work, eat the same food, talk to the same people, scroll the same screens, then go back to bed, only to repeat it all again. There's no fire, no risk, no hunger. That's comfort at work. It creates zombies, smiling corpses, breathing bodies with dead souls. And society loves it because comfortable people don't cause trouble. Comfortable people don't rise. Comfortable people obey. Now here's the funny twist. People defend their comfort like it's treasure. They'll fight tooth and nail to keep things the same. They'll kill possibilities just to preserve their cozy little routines. Why? Because the unknown scares them more than the slow death of comfort. The idea of risking something, even for greatness, terrifies them. So they cling to the familiar chains, polish them up, and call it stability. But chains are still chains, no matter how shiny they look. You want to know the real tragedy? Comfort tricks you into thinking you have time. It tells you, you can chase your dream tomorrow. You can start that project next week. You can change your life later. Later. But later never comes. And then one day, you look in the mirror, and the fire is gone. The face staring back at you isn't a warrior. It's a prisoner who wasted his sentence smiling in a cell made of pillows. The people who actually change the world, they're the ones who spit in the face of comfort. They're the ones who walk straight into the storm, even when their knees shake. They trade security for risk, routine for chaos, certainty for possibility. They understand that comfort and growth are enemies. You can't have both. You either choose to grow, to stretch, to bleed, or you choose to shrink, to wither, to fade away behind a smile. But here's the punchline. Comfort feels good in the moment, but regret will eat you alive in the end. Regret doesn't whisper, it screams. It tears at your insides. It laughs at you in the dark. And all the comfort in the world can't silence it. You can lie on the softest bed, with the warmest blanket, and still feel like you're freezing, because regret is colder than death itself. So ask yourself, what's safer? Living with the risk of failure, or living with the certainty of regret? People think they're choosing safety by choosing comfort, but in reality, they're choosing slow destruction. At least failure teaches, at least pain builds. Comfort just lulls you to sleep while the clock runs out. You ever notice how predators hunt? They don't go after the strongest. They go after the ones standing still, the ones too comfortable to move. And life is the same. It doesn't attack the ones who keep running, who keep fighting. It goes after the ones sitting still, smiling, waiting for nothing. That's when it strikes. That's when it devours you. People get so offended when betrayal knocks on their door, as if it's some foreign guest they never invited. But betrayal doesn't sneak in from strangers. No, it comes from the ones closest to you. The ones you let sit at your table. The ones you handed your trust like a loaded gun, hoping they wouldn't pull the trigger. And when they finally do, when they smile while twisting the knife, you act shocked, as if the mask they wore wasn't slipping the whole time, as if you didn't see the little signs, the hesitation in their voice, the shift in their eyes, the way their loyalty felt a little too rehearsed. Betrayal is never sudden. It's a slow build, a quiet rot, until the fruit looks fine on the outside, but reeks once you bite into it. People cry, "Why me?" when they're betrayed. Wrong question. The better one is, what did it show me? Because betrayal is revelation, not destruction. It doesn't ruin you, it uncovers them. It strips away the pretty speeches, the fake smiles, the handshakes soaked in poison. It shows you who they really are when the mask falls. It's not the act that should shock you, it's the clarity. The truth that was there all along, finally naked in front of you. And if you're smart, you don't waste time mourning the mask. You thank the betrayal for showing you the face beneath. But here's where it gets delicious. Betrayal cuts deeper because you gave them the blade. You trusted them enough to hold it. And when they turned it on you, the pain wasn't from the wound. It was from the realization that you armed your own enemy. That's the sting. That's the lesson. It teaches you about trust, about the danger of blind loyalty, about the cost of giving too much of yourself to people who haven't earned it. And don't think betrayal is always malicious. Sometimes people reveal themselves not because they planned it, but because pressure squeezed them, because their true nature couldn't stay caged forever. You can only fake loyalty for so long. You can only act pure until the storm hits. Then, when survival instincts kick in, when self-interest outweighs promises, masks fall. And what comes out? The real them. The one you didn't want to see. Most people run from betrayal. They bury it. They numb it. They pretend it didn't happen. But that's a mistake. Betrayal is one of life's sharpest teachers. It wakes you up. It sharpens your instincts. It makes you dangerous because once you've been cut open by it, you stop living blind. You start reading people differently. You notice the cracks in their tone, the inconsistency in their stories, the way their eyes flicker when they speak. You learn to stop handing knives to just anyone. And isn't it funny? Sometimes betrayal is the very thing that frees you. You cling to people, thinking you can't live without them, until they betray you. Then suddenly, you're forced to let go. You're pushed into independence. You're shoved into growth. And in that broken moment, you find strength you never knew you had. The betrayal that felt like death becomes the birth of a sharper, stronger version of you. But don't miss this. Betrayal doesn't just reveal others. It reveals you. It shows you how you respond when the knife is in your back. Do you crumble? Do you crawl? Or do you rise? With the blade still sticking out, laughing, because pain doesn't scare you anymore. Betrayal forces you to confront yourself, to decide whether you'll let bitterness rot you, or whether you'll turn that pain into fuel. The cruelest joke of all. Most people who betray you never think of it as betrayal. They justify it. They twist it. They tell themselves they had no choice. They sleep at night, convinced they're the victim, not you. That's why betrayal is so powerful. It doesn't just rip apart trust. It warps reality. It makes you question not just them, but yourself. Did I miss the signs? Did I deserve it? Was I blind? And in those questions, you find your real answers. Betrayal is ugly, but it's necessary. Without it, you'd keep living blind. Without it, You'd keep inviting snakes into your garden. Without it, you'd never learn that some smiles are sharper than knives, and some promises weigh less than air. And maybe the betrayal you fear the most is the one that finally sets you free. Pain, people treat it like it's some kind of curse, something to avoid at all costs, like it's the enemy. But pain is proof. Proof that something is alive inside you. Proof that growth is happening, whether you like it or not. You don't feel pain if nothing is moving, if nothing is changing. Pain is the body's way of telling you, pay attention. Something's happening here. And yet, most people run from it. They numb it with distractions, drown it with noise, cover it up with fake smiles. They think by ignoring pain they can escape it, but really, they're just delaying the lesson. See, comfort lies. Pain doesn't. Pain is the most honest companion you'll ever have. It doesn't sugarcoat, doesn't flatter, doesn't whisper pretty lies in your ear. It tells you exactly where you're weak, exactly where you're broken, exactly where you need to grow. And that's why people hate it. Because truth hurts, growth hurts. But it's the hurt that shapes you into something more than you were yesterday. Think about it. Every scar you carry tells a story. Every broken bone, every shattered dream, every sleepless night. Each one carved a piece of you into existence. You are not the same person you were before that pain, are you? No, you're sharper, tougher, more awake. Pain didn't destroy you. It rebuilt you. The fire didn't burn you down. It forged you. That's the beauty of it. Pain strips away illusions, strips away weakness, strips away the lies you tell yourself. It leaves behind the raw truth of who you really are. People say they want strength, but they don't want the process that builds it. They want muscles without the tearing. They want wisdom without the heartbreak. They want resilience without the nights spent crying into pillows. But it doesn't work that way. You don't grow from the easy days. You don't transform through laughter alone. You grow when it hurts. You rise when it burns. You evolve when the pain forces you to. And here's the twist. Pain is not punishment. It's preparation. The weight you're carrying, the struggle you're enduring, the ache in your chest when life squeezes you. It's not there to destroy you. It's conditioning you. Every blow is training. Every tear is sharpening. Every wound is an initiation into a stronger, more unshakable version of yourself. You think it's breaking you, but it's really building the armor you'll need for what's coming. But most people never realize this. They get stuck in the hurt, so they curse it, they resist it, they try to numb it. They don't understand that running from pain only multiplies it. The more you avoid it, the louder it screams. The more you resist it, the tighter it grips. But when you face it, really face it, you start to see the gift, the lesson hidden inside the agony, the seed of strength buried under the suffering. Isn't it strange how pain connects people? You can meet a stranger, and if they've walked through the same fire, there's an instant bond. Not from joy, not from laughter, but from pain. Shared wounds recognize each other. It's almost like pain speaks a language only the broken understand. That's why pain isn't just about you. It's about making you human enough to understand others. It softens you while it hardens you. It breaks you open so you can feel more deeply, even as it teaches you to survive more fiercely. And the irony, the moments you thought would kill you, the nights you swore you couldn't survive, those are the very moments that proved your strength. Pain tested you, and you're still here. Maybe limping, maybe scarred, maybe different, but still here. And that's the quiet proof that pain never had the power to end you. It only had the power to transform you. So the next time you feel pain, don't just curse it. Don't just numb it. Listen to it. Because pain doesn't lie. It's telling you something's happening inside you, something that matters, something that will shape the rest of your life.